What's good, JD fam? Welcome back to another lit video. You did dig. If this is your first time ever watching our channel, make sure you press that subscribe button right now.
So it has been a minute since we last spoke to you guys, and that's because we are fully in the middle of this moving process. It is hectic, it is stressful. I'm completely overwhelmed, and when I'm overwhelmed, I literally cannot function. Also, Julius has been under the weather, really bad.
Under the weather, and then like, I don't know what it was, I just kind of caught like a flu or something, and then my body was super sore, and like I felt like I got hit by a bus, and then I fell like off the couch, and I hurt my back really bad, and I don't know what happened or whatever happened. Something happened in my back, and it's like really messed up, so I got a chiropractor appointment tomorrow. So
I got one too.
We've been going through it. We've been really going through it.
And then today, what happened with your back?
Oh, and then today I
Can I tell them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm like sitting in my on my makeup desk, and Julius is in the shower, Ko is asleep. Next thing you know, I hear like a loud ass thump. It's like, ow!
Yeah,
and then I run in there, and what happened?
I fell out the shower. I slipped out the shower, and I fell on my back, and it hurted even more. So we've been just going through it.
You can't catch a break. Yeah,
plus we're in the middle of packing, so I had to pack the whole garage and stuff today. So I'm exhausted. I'm just all messed up. I'm still getting over a cold. My back is hurting. But it's all good because we do have some exciting plans coming up with our move. We are, going to be living in a whole different state. And we're going to be moving into a house that we actually own.
But anyways, since we did just buy our first ever home, we thought that we would just do a full video sharing with you guys what the whole process is like, because I know that we have always been so curious, and that's always kind of what like stopped us from doing this sooner, because we just didn't know what to expect, what you needed, like what the whole situation would be like, and if we were ready for that step. But really, I would say that it's really not as hard as most people would expect.
Yeah, it's really not. It's just like a lot of stuff that you need, and you gotta have that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's annoying. The process is annoying and
really
long,
annoying. And
like you need so much paperwork. A lot of people probably think that it's harder than it is financially.
Yeah,
right? Because I know we did, at least.
Yeah, like we thought that you had to put 20% down. You had to then pay your closing costs and all this stuff. But there's like a lot of like little steps and stuff that we actually got to benefit off of, that we want to kind of share with you guys. So if you guys are looking to buy a home and stuff, you guys can, maybe just take
some advice for us, and just, being first-time home buyers. We're not we don't know so much about it, but we know enough because we did just do it. I did tell you guys on Instagram to ask me some of your biggest questions for the whole home buying process, and a lot of people asked just, where do I start? Like, what is the first step I should take? And also, how long does the whole process take? But I would say, as far as the first step,
definitely, I think
you need to get pre-qualified.
Yeah, pre-qualified. I was just about to say, I think the first step that we did was we got pre-qualified for like a certain amount, so that we can actually go out and look in that price range of what we wanted to look for. So
I guess the first step is to find a lender, a trusted lender. We got recommended a lender through our realtor. Good thing Julius knew a really good realtor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. His name is Ben
Wegman. You guys may or may not know him. He is really a good realtor, and if you guys are looking for a home, that's definitely a realtor that you guys should go with, because
that's the guy
he'll get you right, for real. But we were able to find a good lender, and basically we got pre-approved for a certain amount. And the cool thing about your pre-approval is you don't have to just be like, okay, cool, I want to buy a house at this price for my pre-approval. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could buy a house that's cheaper than your pre-approval, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I would say before you even do the pre-approval, you need to already have in mind a budget that you want to spend. So how much you want to spend monthly on your mortgage, and also how much you can afford to put down on your home. With your monthly payment, it's also important to remember that you have to factor in like your property taxes and your utilities, your homeowner's insurance. There's different things that go into it, so it's not just like one set number. We'll get more into all that in a second. And then your down payment. That's like the biggest question that everybody wants to know is the down payment. So after you go through the whole pre-approval process, then you can get to the fun part of actually finding which home you like because you have a budget in mind.
Exactly, and you're already pre-approved, so all you gotta do is go find that home that's your dream. So we're gonna get into these questions that you guys had asked. And the first question that you guys asked is, does credit really matter? Does your credit score really matter? Yes, your credit score really does matter. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is like a big time that we had to use our credit, right? Yeah,
well, your credit matters in terms of your interest rate. That's what it's really important.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you don't want to, if you have a pretty low credit score, you may get approved for the house, but your interest rate may be way higher.
Super high, which is going to make your monthly payments even higher because your because your credit score is so low.
Yeah.
Also, you have to have a minimum credit score just to get approved for certain types of loans.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so good thing I have really good credit. My credit score is
Destiny's crazy out the roof. My credit score is okay, but you know what I'm saying? Teamwork makes the dream work. And my baby, you know, her credit is like
his credit score was really good though.
Yeah, it was really good. And then, you know, I got a car.
He don't be listening to me. He always thinks he knows, and I be trying to tell him.
Yeah, I got a car. I think I applied. Yeah, just don't be running your credit when it's time for you to buy a house, because I think that's what I did wrong, was buy a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't need to before we bought the house.
Exactly. So. But another thing about credit score is if you are getting into a home with two people, like husband and wife, they take the lower person's credit score as like the overall credit score, which kind of sucks. Right?
Yeah, it is. It does kind of suck, because it's like, oh, Destiny got a crazy credit score, and then I have a decent one, so they're going to take mine. The next question is, how long did the process take from looking at houses to buying it? That's a really good question right there. So our process was very fast, because we were like really wanting to move, and we only have a short time.
Yeah, because we had to go to another state. We had to actually fly to Texas just to look at homes. So that made like our process of actually finding the home really short. Like we found the home in only 2 days. We went to look at like literally like over 10, 12 houses, something crazy. I don't know what it was. And then we found our house was the very last house we looked at, actually.
Out of like 14 houses.
Yes. But the process from when we actually saw the house at first, we saw it on September 19th.
Yep.
Then the 20th is when we like put in our offer and said, okay, this is the house we want. We gave them earnest money, and then we actually closed on our house and got the keys on October 26th. So it was a little
October 26th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are we like in a different time zone?
I'm thinking it's still October. Hold on. Yeah. Whoa. We over here. We're speeding through this year. Like, this year's going by crazy fast. So.
Yeah. So it was like around a little bit over 30. Was it 30 days?
Yeah.
Or a little bit over? I don't know.
A little bit over 30 days. So we actually had like a speedy process, and shout out to our lenders. They were like really on it, and they were like making sure we had our closing date and that we were going to close on that day. So it's pretty lit. Like, our process isn't a normal process. I heard that a lot of people take a long time for the closing, like at least 30 days. And ours was like right in that time frame.
Yes. We could have gone a little bit sooner as well, but we actually wanted to give ourselves a little bit extra time to fly out there.
Yep. So the next question is, how much do you have to put down on a home? So that's a very good question. So when me and Destiny first were looking, we were like, damn, babe, we gotta put down 20% of this home, or this and that and this and that. And then we kind of like actually did the pre-qualifications and stuff, and then finds out that if you get a conventional loan, you only have to put down, what, 3%?
Yes, there's certain things you can do where actually a lot of people only put down 3% on their home, which is really not a lot compared to 20%. It's actually a very small number. The only thing is, the less you put down, the higher your monthly payments are. So you kind of have to find that balance of how much you want your monthly payments to be versus how much you can put down right away.
Exactly. And like for me, I'm one of those guys that like to have that bread in in my pocket. So I'm gonna put down the least amount and I'm gonna pay a little bit more. So we actually only ended up putting down a smaller percent than 20. But yeah, it's basically 20% if you have a jumbo loan and you need to put down 20%, and the bank needs to see that you can put that 20% down, or I think like the minimum is like 3%.
Yeah, the very, very minimum that you can put is 3%. But also, you have to remember your closing costs.
Yeah.
So your closing costs are about an extra 2% of the home price. So that's what a lot of people forget to factor in as well.
Yeah.
But actually, there are ways where you can get your closing costs paid. Like you can negotiate with the sellers to pay your closing costs. So we actually got our closing costs completely paid.
Yep. So we didn't have to pay no closing costs. We just had to put the percent down that we wanted to put down, and that's how it was. It was actually pretty smooth for us. It was just like a time frame for us of making sure we had all our paperwork and we had it in like promptly. Like we couldn't take a day off and just be like, oh, well, we'll send that tomorrow or the next day or this day or something. We had to like be on it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I tell you guys to have your budget in mind already of how much you want to spend monthly and your down payment, because your lender will give you exactly like a worksheet basically of how much house you can afford based off of different numbers. Like if you put a little bit more down versus a little bit less monthly, and yeah, you guys can see exactly how much you can afford.
Exactly. The next question is, what was the hardest part of the home buying process? Okay, there's like a lot of stuff to it. I ain't even gonna lie. Just because you get like stressful, or not, you don't get stressful, you just get stressed about like all of the paperwork that you have to read over. You have to make sure like you're signing the right contracts and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you have to just read over. So I think
definitely the paperwork part, like when you're actually in like the escrow dealing with the lender, that's the hardest part and the not fun part at all, because you have to constantly be sending like a million freaking documents. And that's even that we have a CPA that he really handled like sending all of the documents for us, and it was still stressful for us because there was just so much that we needed, especially because our careers are a little bit different than like a typical, you know, you just have your set amount that comes into your account from your one employer every month. Ours is a little bit more
like, it fluctuates and stuff.
Yeah, it's different, it's scattered, it's kind of like, it's a little bit harder to actually verify. So that's why we needed a lot of different stuff and paperwork that we had to constantly be sending in.
And then like we have investments, and then I have crypto and all this other stuff. So like you have to find ways and just different like ways to get documents to prove that you have that money and this and that. So I really think the hardest process was just getting all of our documents over and like having to keep sending them over and over and over again until we had that solidified closing date.
Yeah. Because just when you think that you're done, like, okay, I sent everything I could possibly send, they're like, okay, we need this as well.
Yep. And then you think that you sent that last one, and then they come back 3 days later with like 7 more things you gotta send, and I'm like, oh my god,
I don't even know what this is.
There's no way. Like they're asking me to send that. I just sent that. Like it's a lot of stuff, but
the things that you mainly need, because I saw a lot of people asking, what actually do you need? You need like 3 months of bank statements. You need 2 years of tax returns and W-2s. And
you need a lot of stuff. You need
like your
way
driver's
more
license.
stuff. Yeah, you need more stuff than that.
No, but those are like the first steps, just in the pre-approval process.
Those are just the first steps, and then you get down to the real gritty, and it goes down crazy. And you gotta have all these paperworks. You pulling out paperworks from 6 years ago. You're like, what the hell? Like, what do you even need this for?
Yeah.
But that was definitely the hardest process for us. Me and Destiny was sitting there like, babe, what the hell? Like, babe, you gotta do it. Destiny was on top of it though.
I was mainly the one.
Yeah, but
she procrastinates.
I can't, guys. Once I get overwhelmed, I'm just like ready. I'm ready to lock and load it and go. You know what I'm saying? Do my own thing and just forget about it. I don't even want to be stressed out about it. But that was definitely the hardest process for us. All right, the next question is, why did you guys choose to buy your first home in Texas over California? That's a good question. Go ahead, tell me.
Okay,
Tell
well,
me, girl.
first off, I think California just really wasn't fitting our lifestyle anymore. We
True.
kind of wanted more of a slow-paced lifestyle, more of a relaxed,
Exactly.
kind of secluded vibe. And also, it was just a lot smarter for us financially.
Yes.
Like, if we really wanted to, we could have bought a home in California.
Yep.
But we would have been paying a lot more for a lot less house and land and all that stuff, and that's just not what we're really interested in.
And I know there's gonna be a lot of people like, but it's not California, but it's not. But I just be like, you know, California is like a place where you gotta have like a whole, like a plan. And once you figure out that plan and you do that plan, I feel like it's the right time to get out. Just because, you know, California is crazy. There's a lot of crazy, dangerous stuff that's going on. Which there's dangerous stuff going on everywhere. But California is like really, really crazy. And honestly, just for us, we just really want to like have a place where we can raise our family and like be good and, you know, have more kids and just have our family be like, right, you know, just not in the whole city.
Not in the mix.
Yeah, like,
Not
you know,
not
not all up in the mix and all that stuff. And I think that this is like a really, really good move for us.
Also, financially, it's easy to get caught up in the hype of California and think like, oh my gosh, we're making a good amount of money, like we can buy a house out here, and then you sign yourself up for this really expensive mortgage that you have to pay for a long time. And just because you can do something does not mean that you should.
Yep.
Sometimes it's better to reevaluate and say, okay, I don't need all this. I don't need to be spending all this. Let me get this instead, and this is going to be a lot better for me and my family in the long run.
Exactly.
And that's ultimately the decision that we made.
Yep. And you guys, like I told you guys earlier, I'm big on like making sure that money is in that pockets. You know what I'm saying? You want your money to be in your pockets or invested, making money. You know what I'm saying? A house is an investment. It's probably one of the best investments, but for me, if I could put down less and have a crazy bigger house than any house that I'm gonna get in California, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna use all that extra money and, you know, go put it other places rather than spend $10K a month on a house or go spend $3 million on a home and your backyard isn't even bigger than the backyard that we have in Texas. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm trying to do it, baby. But yeah, you know, Texas is, yeah, that's what it is. You know,
it's so hot in here, you guys.
Hey, it's hot in here, guys.
Sweating my ass off.
Hey, we ain't even gonna lie. Texas, we are on the way.
Texas is lit.
Yeah, we are so excited, so happy. We have so much plans for our home. We are packing. We're doing everything that we need to right now to get to Texas. So sorry if we haven't been posting as much and all that. We do have a podcast dropping sometime soon. We're trying to get all this packing out the way, right, babe?
Yes.
So we will let you guys know. But we're going to end the video right here because it is super hot and Cole is probably in there waiting for his mommy and daddy. So we will see you guys in our next video. We love you guys. Peace.